Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make a special video here about the nation of Spain and how especially Filipinos can relate to Spain. But this actually also is valid for basically all of South America. Uh, Philippines, they were a colony under Spain for like 300 years before in 1899, and also most of the countries in South America were under Spain. Even Brazil, that was under Portugal and speak Portuguese, they are included in this visa or welcome to the mother nation Spain uh, uh, concept that I want to talk about. So the thing is that many people have been struggling to get their wife or their husband into, for example, my country of Norway, because they have put some quite high walls, financial walls. You have to pay a lot of money just to apply for family reunification. Then the country in itself is extremely expensive to rent a place and to have a decent place to receive your wife or your husband if they come from outside of the European economical zone, like European Union, and Sweden is in the European Union, of course, but I think you have Switzerland. There are a few minor, like Norway. We are not a part of the European Union, but if you bring them from outside the boundaries of the European Union, I mean, like Serbia is not part of the European Union, right? Albania is not a part of the European Union. I think Montenegro is neither a part. So you got the point. So many years ago, I realized if I want to bring my wife from Asia, I brought one from Asia. I did, but she was playing around with the other guys here in Norway, so I let her go very fairly quickly. Um, so then I was working, but the point is I was traveling so much back and forth from Asia, especially Philippines, but also Thailand, Indonesia. So I didn't have enough income because in Norway they demand that you have a certain minimum income per year for the last year, maybe the last 3 years, in order to be able to bring your wife, your spouse, your partner, your husband, whatever, to Norway on a family reunification. So now, if you are familiar with the Schengen area, that means that there are the majority of the countries in the European Union, maybe all now, have like a cooperation in between them, so you don't need to have a passport to travel from one country to another. In some circumstances, they will put up and control who is coming across the borders, of course. But basically, the Schengen is that if you have let's say you have a tourist visa, you're coming from the Philippines and you have a tourist visa to Norway or Sweden or Spain or France, whatever. It means that you, during the 90 days that you can be given for a tourist visa, you can basically travel all over the place. You don't need to apply to Spain, for example. You don't need to apply for a visa to go to Spain. But you should mention in your application for the visa, you should mention that you are planning to go to Spain. And if you, yeah. So anyway, the point is that many people, they have discussed this for years. And so some of the guys suggested that if you want to bring your wife or your husband to Norway, that is outside or not a member of the European Union area, then you could bring them to Sweden. So that was a quite reliable, easy way. Bring them to Sweden, and after so and so many months staying legally in Sweden or another European Union country, then they can move to Norway. I don't know if that rule still applies, but what I want to discuss about Spain, because like I mentioned, Spain has a special privilege, and I will tell it to you how it is. It's very, very amazing. If you, as a Filipino or from South America, if you are part of these countries that form this deal with Spain, if you come to Spain on a legal basis and you stay legally, I think it's more than 1 year, then you can start to apply for citizenship. And after having spent 2 years in Spain, a Filipino national can apply for a Spanish citizenship, for a passport. And what kind of freedom that will give that person to have a Spanish passport. I mean, you can travel basically all over the world without being harassed by all these corrupt regimes or the super strict guys at the borders or the embassies, etc. So if you want to come to Norway and do the same thing, if I bring my wife to Norway, she has to have been living here for quite a while, for several years, I think 5 years. I'm not sure about all the details, but maybe 5 to 7 years you have to stay here legally in Norway before you are allowed to apply for citizenship. So this is the fantastic thing. So also the thing is that if you are Filipino and you have a driver's license from the Philippines and you move to Spain, you can just change it. You just give it to the Spanish authorities and they will give you a Spanish driver's license without even having to put up one exam, neither theoretically nor technically or practically. You don't even need to show them that you can drive. So, of course, I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend they took a test, but okay. Anyway, the point is it's fantastic because having a driver's license is quite necessary if you live in many places here, especially in Norway. Ooh, but it's very expensive to have the driver's license here. So that is what I want to say, that Filipinos, if you can go to Spain, go and enjoy the rights there. So what you have to do is, if you have a Filipino wife or living partner, if you have been living together for at least 2 years, it will give you some kind of proof. If you can prove that, it will give you almost like a status of being married. But of course, the Spaniards, they prefer if you have a valid marriage certificate. So what you could do, some Filipinos before, I know, they went to work as nannies, as au pair in Spain, and so you can stay for 2 years in Spain and then you can apply. I don't know if they still have that possibility for you to come and work there as a nanny, but if they have, you should really think about it. In Norway, they have banned it now. And then the very interesting thing is you come on a tourist visa. If you come on a tourist visa to Norway, you have to tell them ahead that, yes, I'm applying for this, my wife or my partner, to remain in Norway. So, and then you have to mention that when you apply for your tourist visa. And then you have to settle with the police here. And then, of course, you have to pay, I think it's 12,600 kroner, which is like $1,200. That's the fee, and so forth. So the thing is, if I, for example, now bring my wife to Europe on a Schengen visa, it can be to my country, Norway, of course. I'm registered with an address. I'm living in Norway right now. So that would be quite easy. And then I can also mention that I'm going to Spain. So when she comes here, we will hopefully bring my son. He's 7 years old now. He is a Norwegian citizen. He has a Norwegian passport. So he don't need any visa to go here, right? But she needs. So the point is, when let's say we stay here in Norway for a month and then we go to Spain. And I have friends there. I've been living there a little bit before. I have a Spanish ID number already. I have a bank account in Spain. So very interesting. So when we come there, I can just reapply that I'm moving to Spain. And after I have applied for that, I think it will take like 10 days. And then we can bring my wife there and she can apply also moving to Spain. on the back of my residence card in Spain. Got it? So very amazing. And then she can just remain there. She can start working, I think, if she finds a job. That's a different story, right? And for Filipino, it's very easy, I think, to learn Spanish. So many of the words in Cebuano and in Tagalog, they are already Spanish words. Okay, so I think that will be a great place for many Filipinos to go. And in the future, or in maybe in between also, when she's living in Spain, maybe she can get some like seasonal work in Norway. So we can go to Norway. She will work here maybe for 3 months, then go back. As I understand, she has to stay more than 50% of a calendar year in Spain in order to obtain the rights. But you have to check out that one. But there are so many possibilities with Spain, guys. So think about it. Thank you so much for your time, and please leave some comments and check it out on different YouTube sites, websites, how you can do this. Thank you very much. Bye bye.